Right, ladies and gentlemen, sales is quite an important area for any higher education institution. And compared to other industries like insurance or any of these other platforms, you're going to have a more influence of this category. Like even insurance, you just sell the insurance, you don't know if the um, only after a particular situation they are going to use insurance, right? සිද්ධියක් වුණාට පස්සේ තමයි ඒගොල්ලෝගේ quality එකයි process එකයි ඕගොල්ලෝ customer කෙනෙකුට දකින්න පුළුවන්. හැබැයි education is not like that. Student is there with you from day one. After paying the money, he is expecting to get quality. He wants to get sales. He wants to get information about how you are adding to the Google Classroom, how you are influencing him, how you are trying to help him. So those aspects are very important. Now, when it comes to program aspects, AIB structure is very different, right? AIB structure is being followed by a couple of other Sri Lankan institutes also. That's why I took the idea. Like the structure works in a way where the one who takes the sale has to take care of the student, his questions, facilities, all that, right? So normally in higher education space, this problem is happening where someone takes the sale, they promise the sun and the moon, coordinate करने के ना ताव एक so the quality gap is happening. Coordinate करने के ना will go after the academic quality and forget that person sitting in front of him is also human kila amatagavela, he'll go into other areas, right? So when it comes to sales side, we do the requirement. That's why during recruitment process at AIB, we are always checking minimum of bachelor's degree is there or someone who's right now, external hari degree ka complete karne ke. So we are pushing towards this HND and pushing towards the internal staff development. But on the other side, please do remember when you're holding sales, may sales in higher education, make a put the kamarui because elame oyatekuma tie vela inno. E wageme elame ඔයාගෙන් ඉඳලා එක්කෝ messages වලට දවසෙන් හරි reply එකක් දෙන්න. They're expecting you to speak and confirm to employers that you know them. සමහර වෙලාවට ඒ ළමයි ඕගොල්ලෝව reference හැටියට පාවිච්චි කරලා ඔගොල්ලොන්ගේ information ටික දෙනවා ඒගොල්ලෝගේ job situation එකේදී. සමහර වෙලාවට ළමයිට loan document එක process කරන්න වෙයි. එක්කෝ MBA හරි PhD හරි if they're trying to do some AB kind of a course, sometimes they might apply for loan. So we don't know each person's situation. So from our side, we have to be clear. So I address two areas. When it comes to sales, there is a bigger responsibility. It's not like selling like Cargills wage keels wage අපිට operate කරන්න බෑ, right? Because it's අපි දුවන්නේ education side එකේ හින්දා අපි there is an ethical side to it, right? So you have to be very careful when you are selling a product. You are very clear what the student wants. You understand the student. එයාගේ අම්මා mother father what they are doing. If the student is a professional, කියමුකෝ වයස 30 කෙනෙක් ඇවිල්ලා PhD එකක් කරන්න හදනවා නැත්නම් masters එකක් කරන්න හදනවා නම් why is he doing that? Ask that question. Get to know that person. What is the family background? What is the motivation? එක call එකේ සමහර වෙලාවෙදී අමාරු වෙයි. So you might have to talk 2-3 times to understand this particular category. You get for AIB 3 types of students, right? One is someone who's after O-level, A-level, want to do in that gap 3 months, 6 months, they want to do a short course. Ekko content writing yak way, නැත්නම් digital marketing or graphic design. So you need to understand what they're trying to do. Sometimes you have to advise them also. Like right now, there is a trend, right? Lankave ඉගෙනගෙන ඊට පස්සේ go towards Dubai, right? We have a good AIB alumni. Use that support. If you're getting stuck, also speak to me. I have already informed the lecturers also to keep in touch with the students and try to help them out, right? So we will have a different system towards that, how students are growing. That part is towards the academic admin. So HR and administration works differently, from the sales end. We'll try to do this. Whoever you are recruiting, you have to have a good personal rapport with them. So you can understand them before you start selling the right program to them. අපේ ගොඩාක් programs යන්නේ English language එකේ, but there is, if you look at graphic design, digital marketing, අපි ගොඩාක් දුරට trilingual වගේ තමයි ගෙනියන්නේ. There are students from Tamil areas who are doing it, Sinhala areas who are doing it. But අපි digital පැත්තම ගෙනියන්න හේතුව ඇවිල්ලා we are trying to do this entirely in digital side because end of the day if the student is going to sit tomorrow in front of freelancer Upwork ඔය වගේ site එකේ වැඩ කරනවා නම් ඔයි ළමයාට ඩිජිටල් ක්ලාස් එකේදී දෙයක් ෆලෝ කරගෙන කරන්න බැරි නම් කොහොමද මේ ළමයා ගිහිල්ලා ඔන්ලයින් ජොබ් එකක් කරලා එකකින් සර්වයිව් වෙන්නේ, right? So there are certain institutes that are doing physically for digital marketing and graphic design. They want to go to, sometimes Sri Lankan mentality also is there where they want to go to a particular physical institute and do it, listening to the lecturer, do one by one, but then quality will drop because we are specialized in online learning for the last 15 years. No, before anyone else, we started it in Sri Lanka. We have to run through each and every aspect of what they are doing, right? Screen share, not like a physical lecture where the lecturer has to walk around and identify the graphic design or digital marketing. No. Ours is where our students will have to share their work, active process with all the other students. So try your best to have this conversation before you start off, right? Then when it comes to sales, you need to understand you should start the conversation, right? Echo calling, WhatsApp pinging, you should start the conversation. When you're starting the conversation, sometimes because AIB is not big, like some institutes in Sri Lanka have been there for 45 years, 50 years. University of Colombo has been there for centuries, right? Over 100 years. So you don't have to, you just have to say, I'm from University of Kelaniya, Colombo, Moratoa. People will know. But AIB people won't know, so they will be a bit question mark. ඇයි මේගොල්ලෝ කතා කරන්නේ මේක genuine ද? Not everyone is going to check the Google reviews also. So you start showing that you have quality. ඔගොල්ලෝගේ first question එක වෙන්න ඕනේ, and it's a eligibility criteria also. Have they done the A levels and do they have 2 passes, right? Content writing වගේ එකක් ගත්තා නම් it has to be minimum HND. නැත්තම් ඔය ළමයාට ජොබ් එකක් අපි කොහොමද හොයලා දෙන්නේ, right? If they don't have it, okay, there is a situation they don't have. Then there used to be a situation where ළමෙක් MBA කරලා දිනවා හැබැයි A level එකේ ළමයා fail. So how do we process the application? There is something called the recognition of prior learning, which is the student has experience. Let's say a managing director, own business manager, as a own business owner, he has been there for 15 years. So we have to accept under RPL category, UK RPL category. Sometimes you might get a A-level student who has just finished A-level, have a business registration for the last 2-3 years, right? Something like that. We have had a situation like that where after A-level the student came, O-level he has got his business registration. He was trying to get into the MBA directly after A-level. So you have to be very watchful because sometimes it happens. I'm telling, out of like 3,000 stories, only one issue happened like this, where they are trying to take a shortcut or something like that. So be very watchful of these documents. So first start the conversation very confidently. Be confident about AIB's profile. We have not had a negative track record. So be very positive. A positive track record when you start with the question of eligibility, confidence or else what you will end up doing is product you don't focus on the student or the professional person, experienced person, the learner, what background he's coming from. Sometimes he's coming for the purpose of visa. Then Dubai Gatana, they want to get a bachelor's degree top up after to get their migration status, right? Egulanta visa category they get further benefits with the visa. So then look at it and see what exactly the student wants. Sometimes they have experience. Can we go RPL? Can we so discuss at that point? But make sure when you ask this whether they have the A-level 3 passes, you will have the confidence of the student because he knows that you are checking for eligibility. You have to look for the eligibility criteria. Just gauge the student. Sometimes student, yes, A-level but sometimes he might have done a foundation. He'll talk, but he knows, okay, your first question is this. this is the way that you are going to go with it, right? I typed it out. It's just 2 slides. I just wanted to have a conversation with you. That's why I went with this. Then the student's mind is thinking on making sure he is in line with the quality standard of AIB. Yeah, itana he'll try to understand that there is AIB is having quality. This is a technique that worked for me because up to certain point I was working at AIB frontline also. So see whether it works out for you, right? Uh, give your feedback. You have your own tactics. Everyone builds their tactics for marketing and sales. There is a rest of product knowledge training that is there with this YouTube channel, so you can run through it and learn about it, right? So good luck in your venture.